Hey YouTube, it's Ish here with Growing in OKC, and I'm here today with Livy, my little domestic terrorist, and we're here to take you all around for a 2-month tour of my garden. So let's go ahead and start looking around. A lot of this is going to be an update of videos that have already been going on, but I have a few questions for my subs out there. So if you can help me out with this, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, and let's take you around the garden. Okay, so this is the raised vertical bed that I built in response to Growing Your Greens' vertical bed where he highlighted the phytopod. This is kind of my cheap knockoff remake. As you can see, everything is going really well since the last video update. The cilantro is great, all the strawberry plants are doing great, and the tomato plant is growing really well. It's been in there for maybe 3 or 4 weeks now. So that's my vertical garden on a pallet. Now let's go show you the rest of the bed. This first bed has a lot of lettuce and a couple of strawberry plants and a few other things. This is my seed bed, so everything I've planted in here, with the exception of those 2 cantaloupes in either corner, are going to be used just for things going to seed. So I've got 4 heads of lettuce, 1 strawberry plant, 1 cilantro, and then if I zoom in a little bit, I'm going to try to do my best without shaking everywhere. You see all these little tiny specks of green. These are seeds that Praxis 55712 has sent to me, and we're going to use his seed as a basis for creating my own seeds for carrots and onion. And then I'm going to pay it forward to you all, and here in a couple months I'll have a seed giveaway for my subscribers where I give you all seeds. Next up is my onion, kohlrabi, and carrot bed. The onion is on the far left, kohlrabi's in the middle, and carrots on the right. Here's the thing about these plants. This is my first time to grow any of these plants, so I have no idea when to pull these or how to know when these things are ready. Just kind of guessing at them, and I'm hesitant. It's been 60 days now, this is the 2-month update, since I put these things into the ground, and I'm not really sure when I should start pulling them and seeing if the food is ready to be consumed or not. I would really hate to pull something and then it not be worthwhile. So if any of you all out there happen to know anything about these things, I can see this 1 strawberry plant has 1 little flower pot on it, which I think is a good indication that it's probably nearly ready. But nothing else has gone to flower. The kohlrabi, this is my biggest one. This is what it looks like. And then the spinach, the carrots, all just look like that. So if any of you all have any suggestions on how to know when to start pulling or harvesting some of these items, let me know. Okay, the next bed I'd like to highlight for you is my small middle bed. I kind of built this bed, as you can tell, it's not like any of the rest of them. It's just kind of built here in the middle to utilize the space that I have. So I planted a couple of pepper plants here that I have no idea what they are. They were given to me at the high school. And then I have a bunch of sugar snap peas. Now let me tell you, these are 2-month-old sugar snap peas, and this is, I've already had about a dozen of these to eat over the last 2 or 3 days. You have not lived until you've grown your own sugar snap peas and then eating them out of your garden. These things are amazing. And next year I'm going to expand my garden so that instead of having this tiny area of sugar snap peas, I'm going to have something probably 3 or 4 times this size. These are just amazing and they're easy to grow. Okay, so next up is a student when he gave these to me. These are 4 corn plants of some sort, and he called them black popcorn. This is the first time I've grown corn ever in my life, and I know that you're supposed to put them in rows about 1 foot apart, which is what I've done. And instead of seeding them into a bed, I'd run out of space, so I put them directly into the soil. They're doing great. A little bit of a worm compost is all they really needed to take right off. But now here's my question for you all. What is this? What do you see right here? This kind of, it almost looks like asparagus to me, and it's growing in all of them. Are the black popcorn something that will go to seed and start producing husks at only, what, maybe 1.5 foot, 2 feet tall? I don't know. I thought corn was supposed to get 6, 7, 8 feet tall. And so I'm just a little bit confused as to what that is. What's growing on, man? Y'all tell me. Alright, next is my big garden. It's an 8x3 raised bed. You can see how I constructed it and how I constructed the PVC tubing over the top. You can see all the how-tos, but everything's growing great here. I've got 6 tomato plants that are taking over everything, man. Those cages are about 3.5, 4 feet tall, and this is the beginning of May, and I'm growing, and I've got 4 foot tall tomato plants growing on in my backyard. I've also got a few other things that I just want to show you all about. I've got some spinach here starting to go to seed. I don't know if you can see the bud there on top, but I've got spinach that's about to start going to seed, and I'll be collecting those seeds for all of us, for you, me, and everyone else. I've also got a bunch of arugula growing here in the undergrowth, as well as some pepper plants that are coming up in between them. Pepper plants, Swiss chard right behind it. Then here's an arugula plant that's starting to go to seed that hopefully I'll be able to pay this forward on. A friend of mine gave me about 24 seeds of arugula, and that's what started all of this. And so I'll be paying it forward to you all with some arugula this coming fall. And then down here, these speckled colored leaves, and you all tell me if you think they're suffering from some sort of disease. I don't know if they're supposed to be this color or not, but these are string beans, garden variety green beans, and they're growing on down here. And they're starting to, as you can see, they're starting to flower and go to seed as well. But so the tomatoes, I've got tons of tomatoes, dude. I've got, if I had to estimate between, I've got 3 varieties of tomato plants, and I would estimate that between all 3 varieties, I've got maybe 24 tomatoes going on right now, and hopefully it just hit 90 for the first time this season. Hopefully these tomatoes will really start ripening up. Here's a bunch of them, grape variety. Hopefully they'll start ripening up over the next week or 2. This is what the grape seed looks like. Look at all those buds. It's gonna be amazing. If you live in the Oklahoma City area, man, poor ass prepper, I know you out there, bro. I'd be happy to share with you if you come grab some of this stuff. But This is what I got growing on my garden. I'm gonna quickly come around to this side. This is 7-top turnip leaves, and I use them for greens. I've got okra coming up. It's starting to get hotter, and so it's growing taller. And then underneath it all, these are more of the green beans from another angle. Underneath it all, I've got lettuce and spinach, and there's just all sorts of things planted under here. It's all so thick that at times it's kind of hard to film it quickly in a film like this, in a video for you all. But I just really wanted to show you my garden, let you all know how things were growing on in here, so that you could see, you know, with a covered system, this covered wagon kind of system that I've got going on, you can start your planting nearly, man, I probably planted a month before the last frost date here in Oklahoma, and I just have so many things growing. And not only are some of the things growing, but they're like going to seed, or I'm sorry, they're flowering right now. They haven't quite gone to seed yet, but it's really amazing just how much can be accomplished with a covered bed. The last thing I want to share with you all are just these container gardens that I've got going on here. I've got these two little one's probably 2.5 or 3, and the black one behind it is 5. And then here in the foreground with 2 Swiss shards in it, one green and one red, is a 2-gallon container. Another 3-gallon with some sort of pepper plant in it. A hanging basket that my wife absolutely loves the look of this. So if you're trying to do something that your wife will love the look of, put a little hook in the ground like that and hang a basket from it. It's got 2 basil plants in it and 1 Swiss chard. And then last is this big 45-gallon. It's funny, I just noticed you could see the 45 on it. This container has a whole bunch of salad mixes in it, and as you can see, as it's gotten hotter, some of them have started to bolt. But I also planted 2, either a squash and a zucchini, or 2 squashes in it. But some of those have started to fruit, so I'm going to take you over there now to show you. Okay, these are the squash and zucchini plants, and they are looking great. Just want to show you. I mean, it's May 4th, and I have crooked neck squash growing in. I've got another little one started right there, if you could see that between my fingers. So 2 on this plant alone. And then this guy's starting to bud as well. And a great thing about this, I'm not going to do this with these plants, but for those of you who are cooks or culinary experts out there, you can actually pull the buds off of a squash or a zucchini plant, stuff them with some sort of light white cheese like a queso fresca, and then lightly batter them in a tempura and deep fry them for 30 seconds, and it is amazing. Just a little restaurant suggestion here. If you don't want to eat the squash, the flowers of this plant are just exquisite. Alright, so that's it for our 2-month update. I hope you all enjoyed getting to look around my garden, and please feel free to leave comments below. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm doing something wrong, or if you notice something that I didn't point out in the videos that you think needs to be addressed, feel free to hit me up, leave a comment, send a message, PM me, whatever you want to do. I'm here to help. I'm just a first-year gardener like a lot of you all who watch videos, so let's work together, let's get it figured out, and let's keep growing, whether we're growing in OKC or wherever you're at in the country.